Hi there, Blues. Welcome back to True Blue Chelsea. I am Anshuman Rawat. It's always interesting when you begin a match hearing a manager say that he did not have any specific reason for choosing a team. And it was kind of unfair for people who were left out on the bench. But that's what the new Chelsea manager did in his first match. It is understandable. He barely had 24 hours before he got into the dugout. So in his own words, he went for experience. Playing what looked like a 4-2-3-1 system, Chelsea started very brightly. And one of the brightest stars of the previous match, Callum Hudson-Odoi, was particularly impressive. Hudson-Odoi troubled the Wolves defenders from the very beginning. He made darting runs from the right flank, and was almost instrumental in Chelsea's first goal when he made a delightful pass into the box. It's a pity that Giroud fell short by a couple of inches, otherwise it would have been a mere tap-in for Oliver Giroud. Giving him good company was a masterful Kovacic in the midfield. He lauded the area. He made insightful passes. He made a lot of dashes into the opposition boxes. He made quick trackbacks. He was generally very effective in the field. And yet, it was Wolves actually who could have taken the lead in the middle of the first half. They got a free kick very near to the box, and it was an opportunity for them to shock the Chelsea team. Unfortunately, the free kick was not that good and went way above the crossbar. As we neared the halftime, it became very clear that the only intention of the Wolves team was to sit back and look out for any opportunity for a counter-attack. There were not many in the first half. Chelsea had more than 80% of possession in the first half. And in that overwhelming possession statistics, three Chelsea players really stood out. One we already talked about, Callum Hudson-Odoi. The other, Kovacic. And the third was a cool and a very strong Thiago Silva. He has a calming influence like no Chelsea defender has had in the recent times. The second half began pretty much in the same fashion. Neither of the teams went for substitutions. And at one time, in a period of about 5 to 6 minutes, Chelsea had 92% possession of the ball. There was absolutely no intention on the part of the Wolves player to get onto the ball. But it has to be said that Chelsea players did move around the ball very well, including the defender Antonio Rudiger. But in all of this, in my personal opinion, there were two players who were very poor. One was Hakim Ziyech and other was Ben Chilwell. Both of them regularly lost balls and did precious little to succeed in the trackbacks. Around the 75-minute mark, Chelsea went for the changes. In came Tammy Abraham, Christian Pulisic and Mason Mount. And almost immediately, there was a spark of energy in the team. Mason Mount, who has been at the receiving end of flack for being very close to Lampard, was very good in his very, very brief cameo. But to facilitate these changes, the Chelsea manager then shifted Callum Hudson-Odoi from the right flank to the left flank. And believe you me, he was just as phenomenal on the other side of this pitch. Unfortunately, amid all this, it was actually the Wolves team that got two good chances to score, and one probably would have been called off an offside, but other one was stopped only because of a track back by Callum Hudson-Odoi. Hudson-Odoi made a track back from almost near the Wolves box to his own box and made a stunning tackle to deny Wolves a clear shot at the goal. That kind of summed up Callum Hudson-Odoi's night. He was phenomenal all across the pitch, and there is no way the manager would think of dropping him in the next match. So that's there. Good news for Chelsea is, amidst all this, Kai Havertz put in one of his best performances in Chelsea colours. He was infinitely more energetic than his loitering self in the previous matches, and he made a few good runs, a few good nutmegs and a few good leaves during the period. If it were in his destiny, he would have actually ended up being the scorer of the only goal of the match. The Chelsea team got a corner beyond the regular 90 minutes period. Mason Mount took it. and Kai Havertz headed the ball beautifully, only to see a Wolves defender accidentally hit the ball out of the ground. And that was it. That was the last play of the game. But all in all, it was a good performance, and the Chelsea manager was very pleased with the effort that the team made, and even more pleased with the fact that those players kind of embraced his style within 24 hours or after just one practice session. So 0-0 is a score which both managers cannot complain about. Of course, Chelsea would have loved to win, but at least there were no howlers here in this match, and that is something to build upon. So that's it for this episode. Keep supporting us, keep supporting Chelsea, keep the blue flag flying high. Bye bye.